It can be literally the most suffocating experience both physically and mentally when you got separated from that special someone whom you've poured every single ounce of your time, effort, resources, and being into. Or even worse, that special someone decided to leave you for someone else without saying a word despite everything that you've done for her. You will inevitably feel like your whole world had come crumbling down and a huge part of you is missing, seemingly taking away the very core reason for your existence. When we're young and naive, love easily blinds us. We all know that. The notion that this special someone is quote-unquote destined to be with us for the rest of our lives, despite all the hard times that we are mentally and practically unprepared for, all because we are convinced that the stars of the zodiac cosmos are perfectly aligned through the Milky Way, connecting the threads of the twin flames and paving the way towards the unbreakable magical isle of the soulmates, right? Well, until our daily prayers got utterly ignored and our hopes got completely shattered by the natural mechanics of human nature, that is. Then we wonder cluelessly like the ignorant idealists that we are of why the spells of the fairy godmother and the angels of love didn't work even though we've done everything right. Now, the easiest thing to do and what most of us men do initially is that we start to put the entire blame on her for being a corrupt individual that turned her back on the righteous path of loyalty and faithfulness within the God-protected realm of unconditional and unmitigated true love. Then we send our hate-filled prayers to karma hoping that it will come after her and collect the massive moral debt that she owed us.
I fucking hate you, I fucking hate you. Bitch, you fucking stupid. I fucking hate you, bitch. I hope you
Either that, or we self-deprecate ourselves in utterly pathetic fashion, sedating our misery with synthetic liquids and hoping that another fair lady would sympathize with our emasculated sorrow and rescue us by emptying our balls for the night. Now, I'm not going to beat around the bush any further here, and let's just cut straight to the chase. The word unconditional does not exist in the dictionary of love. Love has always been and will always be conditional. If love were unconditional, a Victoria's Secret model would spread her legs for a fat, smelly, and broke man living underneath a bridge with only $20 to his name. Loving someone is first and foremost will always be about whether if that someone has the attributes or most of the attributes that we are looking for from a significant other based on their gender. Is she hot? Is he tall and strong? Is she a virgin? Is he wealthy? It's always about what are you first before who you are. And if those attributes that one are looking for are gone, so will be the so-called love you are going to be receiving and experiencing from that person. Now, apart from the vast differences in life cultures and priorities and severe mental health issues turning the relationship toxic and abusive, the most common reason of why a relationship fails is because of the failure in fulfilling the respective gender roles that they are expected to deliver within the relationship. And this failure is the eventual result of the cumulative effects with regards to the eventual absence, lack of, diminishment, and powerlessness surrounding those attributes that one is looking for from their partner within the relationship, that eventually culminate into a loss of both respect and desire between each other. If one fails to fulfill their role, the relationship is inevitably bound to fail. A man's default role in the relationship is to lead, protect, and provide. A woman's default role in the relationship is to follow, support, and nurture. For example, if she was initially hot, feminine, soft-spoken, and nurturing when you met her, then over the years she slowly becomes lazy, fat, and smelly while also revealing to be an insufferable, nagging, and drama-fueled bitch. Would you not eventually lose all respect and attraction that you initially had for her? Would you not be instinctually and biologically enticed to leave her and look for a better woman that can make your life a better place of existence? Of course you would. Well, it is absolutely no different from the point of view of the woman. If you're initially a confident, ambitious, resourceful, hardworking, brave, mentally strong, emotionally stable, fashionable, adventurous, humorous, and competent leader of a man that she fell in love with the first time, but then as the relationship progressed over the years and your balls got emptied every day of the week, you get too complacent with where you are and you become fat, lazy, indecisive, insecure, unreliable, emotionally infantile, clingy, cowardly, desperate, and boring loser who remains stagnant in his life and refuses to grow further as an individual. Then let me ask you, gentlemen, if you turned out to be that kind of man, is it normal for your woman to eventually go dry in the bedroom and then be tempted to leave you and look for another man that can make her life a better place to live in? I'd definitely say so, because you're no longer the man she thought you once were. You're no longer the man she's looking for and want to be with. You're no longer the man she looked up to and adored. Now, of course, some of you gentlemen might think, well, it isn't fair. Isn't she supposed to be with us through thick and thin? Isn't she supposed to never leave us forever? Isn't that how love's supposed to work? Well, here's the thing. The world doesn't care because you are already expected to fulfill that role as the man in the relationship. In fact, she probably already gave you many chances to redeem yourself, but you got too complacent thinking that her disappointment in you will eventually subside and will forgive you in being a loser. In a Disney movie, that may happen, but not a chance that's going to happen in real life, mate. Here is the thing, gentlemen. Let's not look at intersexual relationship through a moralistic, spiritual, or an ethical lens. The truth is, relationship is all about intersexual dynamics, and it operates through a biological and evolutionary hardwiring ever since the hunter-gatherer age. As much as we like to put so much emphasis or priority on personality and things in common when it comes to how a relationship will or will not work out, the truth is, we human beings will always be creatures of survival, and we will always prioritize our survival and state of welfare first and foremost before anything, and it is no different to intersexual relationships. If from a man's perspective, a woman who is infertile to bear children and is incapable of carrying the survival of our genetic legacy to the next generations because she is physically overweight, infectious, and incapable to nurture them towards good health, we would innately remove her from our selection of women that we want to bear our children with, and also our investment in paternity, because she basically compromises the state of our survival. Similarly, from a woman's perspective, if a man who is physically inferior, unintelligent, unresourceful, incompetent, and cowardly to protect and provide for both her and her offspring, she will instinctually remove him from the selection of men whom she wants to breed with, because those men threaten the survival of both her and her offspring. Plus, women are the more vulnerable sex, and they have a finite time frame to have children, so they are naturally way more selective and intuitive in choosing a mate than us men. So they can be literally more ruthless when it comes to leaving out the incompetent men that are not selected to breed with them. That is why there are way more men than women that are sexless today than it has ever before. No matter what spiritual barriers and ethics tries to oppose the way of our nature as human beings, most of the time they will be utterly and ruthlessly abided by our survival instincts. She wouldn't give two shits if you're an actual romantic sweet pie at heart, or if you're a quirky son of a bitch when you absolutely got no pot to piss in, mate. She will leave you for dead. Now, I completely understand that some of you may feel the anger after taking in all of this, and that is very much normal because you are basically in dissonance with your initial beliefs and conditioning. The worst thing you can do is deprecate yourself into the victim mindset and eventually hate on women for living within the laws of their own nature.
I fucking hate you, bitch. You fucking stupid. I fucking hate you, bitch.
Men and women are and will always be better together than we are on our own. Our specific and respective gender roles within the relationship complement each other's strengths and weaknesses beautifully, king and queen in perfect harmony. But in order to be better for the sake of each other, we must individually become better for our own sake first. It is just a shame that in modern times, these respective gender roles are reversed and eventually wreaking havoc on the dynamic within the relationship and/or marriage as a whole. Both men and women are suffering greatly because of this. Women unconsciously becoming the man that they look up to and want to be with all on their own while growing old and childless. Men becoming the women that they are looking for while being deprived of their masculinity and ridiculed for being weak. All because of society's ignorant conditioning of female empowerment and oppression of masculinity that reverse the traditional roles that men and women are biologically hardwired to partake. Thank you for watching.